Every so often, a game appears that feels less like a product and more like a statement that the genre is ready for a big change. Sword of Justice, developed by Zhurong Studio under NetEase, is exactly that kind of project. It's an open-world multiplayer social RPG set during the grandeur of the Northern Song Dynasty in late 12th century China. And it has one goal: to bring the living spirit of wuxia to life in a virtual world. For those who don't know, wuxia is the Chinese genre of martial heroes, warriors who leap across rooftops, duel in bamboo forests, glide across rivers, and live by codes of honor and destiny. This isn't the typical Western fantasy of knights and dragons. It's a different tradition of storytelling characterized by its grace, elegance, and fluidity. And Sword of Justice wants to take that tradition and expand it into an MMO world that feels alive, reactive, and full of possibility. With the global launch approaching soon, the game already has a track record in China, as it has already debuted there with explosive success. About 40 million players during the first month and more than 1.1 million pre-registration on day one. It then quickly dominated the charts, showing not just the initial hype, but sustained numbers. Now, the developers are turning outward, inviting a global audience to step into this meticulously crafted martial world. Today's video is sponsored by Sword of Justice, and you can use the link in the description and pin comment down below to pre-register. At the heart of Sword of Justice is its revolutionary approach to storytelling. If you're a regular on this channel, then you already know I'm a fan of good stories. If you've played MMOs before, you know the drill. You run up to an NPC with an exclamation mark over their head, they give you a few lines of dialogue, and you're off to kill 10 rats or fetch herbs. The NPC never remembers you, never reacts to your choices, and never feels real. Sword of Justice changes that. Every NPC is powered by NetEase's DeepSeek AI system. These aren't static quest givers, meaning NPCs have memory, personality, and responsiveness. They remember your past interactions, and they adapt their responses based on the way you treat them. If you're kind, they'll respond in kind. If you betray them or ignore their pleas, well, let's just say that will shape your future encounters. The result is a story that doesn't feel scripted at all. Instead, it feels like an evolving relationship with the world. Decisions matter, and your story branches not because the developers coded every possibility, but because the world itself reacts to you. It's a step closer to the holy grail of MMORPGs, a living world where every player's journey is absolutely unique. Now let's talk about the world itself. The phrase open world gets thrown around a lot in gaming, but Sword of Justice takes it seriously. This is a vast martial landscape designed not only to be seen, but to be experienced. You don't just walk from town to town on a designated trail. You glide across rooftops, racing along curved tiles under the lantern light of bustling cities. You leap through bamboo forests, the stalks bending beneath your weight as you run across them in true wuxia fashion. You can scale sheer cliffs, bound across lakes, and even soar between mountain peaks, moving with the impossible grace of martial heroes. And it's not just about traversal, but rather about how movement makes you feel. In most MMOs, exploration is functional. You're moving to get somewhere. In Sword of Justice, exploration is an art form. Every step is a performance, every leap a brushstroke in a painting. In true wuxia fashion, the visuals make it even more powerful. This is the first MMO to feature full path tracing on PC and high frame rate ray tracing on mobile. That means light isn't just randomly rendered, it's simulated. Sunbeams cut through the mist of dawn, reflecting off tiled rooftops. Cherry blossoms glow in moonlight as petals scatter in the breeze. Rain slicks cobblestones, lanterns flicker against the puddles, and the entire world feels so beautifully cinematic. Because after all, exploring the martial world isn't just about what you can do, it's about what you can see, what you can feel, and how the environment responds to you. All these elements make the world as immersive as possible. Of course, all the exploration in the world wouldn't matter if the combat wasn't fun. And this is where Sword of Justice fully embraces its wuxia roots. Instead of generic archetypes, combat is built around martial schools, philosophies of battle that define not just how you fight, but who you are in the world. There are 6 schools at launch, each one distinct, flavorful, and rich with style. The Nightwaker are the assassins, the Silent Blades. They thrive on speed and precision, moving like shadows and striking with bursts of blinding combos. They can disappear mid-battle, reappear behind their foe, and overwhelm with sheer mobility. Playing a Nightwaker isn't just about dealing damage, it's about becoming untouchable, a blur of steel and silence. The Ironclad are your tanks. They are the immovable wall, the fortress who absorbs aggro and controls the battlefield. Their resilience makes them the anchor of any dungeon group, the one allies rely on when chaos erupts. Choosing Ironclad is choosing to be the backbone of your team, more or less the shield that never breaks. The Bloodstorm are your cavalry DPS. Fighting astride their iron steed, they turn basic attacks into sweeping cavalry maneuvers. They excel at AoE damage, scattering groups with knockups and seals while shrugging off blows with bruiser-like toughness. They're relentless, charging headfirst into chaos and emerging stronger for it. The Celestune are the elemental virtuosos, wielding a zither as both weapon and instrument. They channel fire, ice, and wind in harmonic resonance, weaving notes into elemental effects. Fire burns wide, ice freezes foes in place, and wind enhances mobility and cooldown reduction. They're adaptable support, switching melodies mid-battle to control the flow of combat. The Numina are the Spirit Binders, summoners who fight with poison and spectral companions. They unleash toxins, command ghostly kites and dream wraiths, and reposition constantly to keep foes off balance. Numina thrives on unpredictability, turning battles into performances of both body and shadow. Finally, the Sylph are the Guiding Light and my personal favorite school. They are the healers, the quiet saviors who keep their allies alive. With group heals, damage reduction buffs, and the only combat resurrection in the game, they are indispensable in high-stakes encounters. But they are not passive. In their Tianwen form, Sylphs transform into elegant offensive fighters, weaving healing and harm into the same flowing performance. Each school comes with combos, ultimate abilities, and distinct wuxia choreography. Battles feel like duels from martial arts cinema, fast, fluid, and cinematic. And the schools aren't just gameplay choices, they are identities, philosophies that define your role in the martial world. And of course, no MMORPG can thrive without content to bring players together, and Sword of Justice balances both PvE and PvP with care. On the PvE side, dungeons form the backbone of cooperative play. Reaching level 30 unlocks your first dungeon, and from there the challenges escalate. These aren't static corridors of enemies. They are designed encounters where every school matters. Ironclads hold the line, Nightwakers burst down key targets, Sylphs keep the group alive, and Celestunes adapt to shifting mechanics. Bosses test coordination, timing, and teamwork, delivering loot and progression for those who succeed. Beyond dungeons lie world bosses and organized boss trains, massive enemies that require dozens of players to take down. These fights are also events, moments where entire servers rally together to overcome shared challenges, which is honestly one of my favorite feelings as of late. On the PvP side, the world becomes a battlefield. Clan wars pit guilds against each other and sprawling conflicts, while trials by combat provide structured duels. Imagine hundreds of players clashing across an open battlefield, assassins weaving through the chaos, tanks anchoring defenses, healers sustaining entire groups, and elemental virtuosos freezing entire squads in place. These wars are chaotic, yes, but also beautiful. But beyond the combat, I have to gush about one of my absolute favorite features in any video game: character creation. I can sink hours into it without even realizing, and Sword of Justice had me hooked the exact same way. The Cloudface edit tool allows players to pre-create their characters directly in a browser, no download required. It's a level of accessibility unheard of in the genre, and it's matched by the sheer depth of the system. Over 300 parameters let you sculpt every detail. Facial contours, pores, iris reflections, hair strand physics. Every slider adds texture and personality. The makeup system is equally meticulous, allowing multi-layered effects, brow painting at the strand level, and lip gloss that catches the light naturally. But the real breakthrough is AI assistance. Using text-to-avatar generation, you can type a description, a stern martial hero with scarred features for example, and the AI will generate a face that matches. Or you can use photo-to-avatar technology, uploading an image of yourself, a friend, or even a celebrity, and see it transform into a living character in the martial world. With micro-expressions, realistic eye reflections, and physics-driven hair, your hero feels alive even before you step into the world. Stepping into the wuxia world is like stepping into a living painting. The game draws heavily on the culture and aesthetics of the Song dynasty, blending historical authenticity with the elevated beauty of wuxia. Cities bustling with vendors, musicians, and scholars. Lanterns glow along riverbanks, casting reflections across water. Bamboo forests flutter in the wind. Every corner of the world feels crafted to be perceived, and not just passed through. And with ray tracing and path tracing, the lighting and atmosphere elevate everything. What truly makes Sword of Justice feel whole is its commitment to leisure gameplay. Remember, this isn't just a world of combat, it's a world to live in, peacefully. You can build and decorate your manor, designing it as a personal retreat. Plant crops, tend gardens, and invite friends to visit. You can treasure hunt across the world, piecing together maps and unearthing hidden rewards. You can dance, compose music, design outfits, or simply sit in a tea house and chat with NPCs. 'Cause sometimes the most memorable moments are the smallest. Pausing on a mountain to stargaze, catching a deer in a quiet forest and taking a photo, sitting on a rooftop watching lanterns drift into the sky. These quiet moments add soul to the martial world, making it feel less like a game and more like a lifestyle. In a market often criticized for pay-to-win mechanics, Sword of Justice takes a stand. The developers have promised fairness. Resources are earned through gameplay, attributes are capped to prevent imbalance, and seasonal resets ensure every competitive cycle begins fresh. This is embodied in the all paths converge philosophy. Whether you thrive in dungeons, excel in PvP, or prefer leisurely roleplay and exploration, your path is valid and your rewards are equal. The Windstorm token system unifies progression, ensuring you're never forced into content you dislike. Daily tasks can be refreshed infinitely, removing frustration and letting you focus on fun. Multiple progression tracks let you ignore entire gameplay modes if you want, without losing out on top-tier rewards. This isn't just a design decision, it's their philosophy. That MMORPGs should respect your time, honor your choices, and give you freedom. Which makes Sword of Justice more than another MMO. It's a vision of what the genre could be if it respected its players and embraced the beauty of its world. It's a game where exploration is art, where combat is choreography, where NPCs remember you, and where every path matters. Whether you're leaping across rooftops, dueling in clan wars, building your manor, or simply stargazing in a quiet clearing, this is a world built for you. A world that remembers you, a world that adapts to you. In Sword of Justice, all paths truly converge, and together they point to the future of MMORPGs. To try out Sword of Justice, you can use a link in the description and pinned comment down below to pre-register for Sword of Justice today. Thank you so much, Sword of Justice, for sponsoring today's video.